small island called Bill.
All right, so I know that sometimes when people ask you questions, they want to provoke you. I don't really know what your cause is about. If you could just explain to me. Have you ever met Harry, first of all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so before I ask any questions, could you tell me your stance?
So basically we're here because the lead singer of Tyr is involved in the whale hunting in the Faroe Islands. So we want to protest that.
And as an outsider who knows nothing about this, why is that bad?
Why is that bad?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I would say most of us, if not all of us, are vegan.
Okay.
It's bad because whales, like humans, have families. They don't deserve to be killed just because it's a cultural or traditional thing that occurs in the Faroe Islands. It's sadistic. You don't need to feed your family by killing pilot whales and dolphins. And it's just wrong because these animals don't want to die. They deserve to live just like everyone else.
If I may ask, again, I'm not trying to provoke, what is the difference between that and Americans who kill cows, or are you also against that?
There is no difference. It's absolutely the same thing. There's absolutely no difference between the two. It's the same exact thing.
And I've noticed that some of your signs seem to be very insulting toward Harry as a person. Could you explain that? Wouldn't you be taken more seriously if you took the more intellectual route instead of the name-calling?
Well, I'm not an intellectual, regardless of the degrees that I possess. I don't consider myself an intellect. I'm not trying to be an intellect. I grew up with parents that were. It's not my thing. I don't care to be an intellect. My goal is not to insult this person, but I like the more aggressive approach and more offensive approach. Maybe that will get to him than the passive approach. I don't know. That's just me personally. Not everyone thinks like me, and that's fine.
Let's say you and Harry met, and even though he has an idea that you don't agree with, you might like him as a person, would you still continue this? Is it called the demonstration that you're doing, a protest? Do you see anything that could be redeeming in Harry? Would you at least stop calling him pussy?
As long as he stops killing animals.
Can I say something about that? It's not anything about him personally. It's the actions that he's committing. Whether he's a direct participant in the murder doesn't matter. He's taking part in it, and he's totally fine with it because he thinks that it's humane, and it's not humane.
Well,
but I don't care anything about his personality. It has nothing to do with the personality. It has to do with the actions that he's taking and what he's supporting.
But what about people in America who defend some of their actions and they're actually oppressed because what they believe culturally or what they come from culturally doesn't really fit with things that happen in America? Why are they allowed to do that, and why is Harry attacked for his culture?
Can you give me an example of what you're talking about?
I cannot give you an example because I'll be called a word that I don't want to be called. Is there anything in the culture that you identify with that someone else might not understand?
We're vegan. We're compassionate. We don't hurt animals. We don't use animals or animal products in anything that we do in our everyday life. It's about compassion. Food, clothing used from the byproducts of animals is violence. We are not violent. It's violence.
It doesn't matter what culture
And
we were up
Harry
with.
posts on his Facebook page of him slicing open a pilot whale, a long-finned pilot whale, is disgusting. He promotes that, he propagates that, it's disgusting. We're here to tell him he's not welcome.
Would you have the same attitude towards someone who just caught a trout, let's say? And
Absolutely.
Oh, you would?
Same thing.
Absolutely.
Same
Okay.
thing.
It's not food, they are not game, it's violence.
But you use the word compassion. Don't you think that maybe a more compassionate approach toward people like Harry would result in progress?
How compassionate do you think we should be?
To somebody that doesn't show any compassion to living beings.
Vegans eat plants, correct?
Vegans eat everything except for animals or other beings. Simple.
But how would you feel about someone who talks to plants and feels that you butchering plants is inhumane?
Going back to that, we're going to have to go back to they don't have a central nervous system.
Do you know many plants rights activists?
I'm just asking.
Are you one?
I'm not politically engaged.
When we consume animals, or it's cheaper to feed them plants. So we're actually destroying more plants by feeding these land animals. So if they care about the plants, minimize the destruction and just eat it directly instead of feeding it to the animals that then feed us, that then lead to sickness and cancer.
Do you think that abortion for animals should be legalized? That way there would be less animals.
No, there's more animals because they're breeded into existence for us to eat.
It's not about abortion, it's about not breeding anyone into existence for the sole purpose of
our
murdering
consumption.
them, which in the process depletes our Earth's resources. And where do you think the waste goes? To underserved populations. The waste goes to low-income populations.
And how do you feel about rocks?
Excuse me. Do you know John Joseph?
No.
The most badass fucking heavy metal. You don't know who he is?
No, I don't know who he
You
is.
do heavy metal.
I'm just a metalhead.
Where you
I'm
gonna
asking
go, John
questions.
Joseph?
No, I don't know who he is. What's that?
From the Chrome.
No, that's punk. That's not metal.